World watched last month as Iranians were beaten and killed for protesting the results of their presidential election.
But now the world is letting them know, let them show their support for their struggle. The show of solidarity, protests happening in dozens of cities all across the globe today. We have Frederick Pleiken live at one in Berlin and Paula Newton live in London. And Paula, I want to begin with you. I see some people over your shoulder. Tell us, set the scene for us, and what's the tone among these protesters?
Well, clearly, they're still in the opposition green colors. As you said, really protests around the world in dozens of cities. What they're trying to do is show solidarity. We've seen in the last few weeks how the protests really in Iran have died down. A lot of people intimidated, refusing to go back out into the streets because fear has really gripped a lot of the protest movement now in Iran. What these people have said to us is, look, we want them to know that they want to speak out. We will stand behind them. You know, the other critical issue here, though, has been, Brooke, that there have been at least hundreds of people taken off the streets, incarcerated, and human rights groups and groups like these protesters here are saying they want to know why the hardline stand against the protesters, and they're calling for the Iranian regime to really show some flexibility in letting those people out of their prisons, out of detention, and rejoin their families again.
All right. Paula, thank you. And I know these are happening all around the world, including Berlin.
Our Frederick Pleiken is there as well. I don't know if you were able to hear Paula, but a similar scene there for you?
Yeah, you're absolutely right, TJ. I would say that about 1,500 people showed up to this protest here. However, the protests here in Germany are a little more decentralized than they would be probably in Great Britain. You have protests here in several German cities. This is the largest one all over Germany. The other thing they did is they also, of course, did think about the people who are protesting in Iran, but they also talked a lot about the people who were killed in the protests after that disputed election, presidential election there in Iran. There were pictures put up of those who were allegedly killed. There were flowers laid down for those people. And you know, one of the things about these global protests, one of the things that the global protesters are calling for is for the international community to put more pressure on Iran, and that is certainly something that played a very large role here because Germany is one of the largest trading partners that Iran has, TJ.
All right, Frederick Pleiken for us and our Paula Newton as well. We thank you both.